You know what? I am tired of people on the internet talking about Disney and Universal and acting like they're better than everyone else, when in reality, there are plenty of parks all around the world who don't have a massive corporate backing, but still manage to create top shelf attractions. And I want to talk about all of them. This is Theming on a Budget. Batman the Ride originally opened on May 9th, 1992 at Six Flags Great America. It was the very first B&M invert and shook the coaster world to its core.
It's the world's only suspended outside looping thrill ride. Park guests hang below the track in high-speed chairlift type vehicles, similar to what you'd find at a ski area, as they whirl over and around Gotham City. One rider said, "It felt like being in the cockpit of a jet fighter plane."
Yes! It's the best right here! It's so fun! Batman is the best!
People were blown away by the ride, and Six Flags knew that based on this reception, they needed to bring Batman to their other parks. And boy did they ever, with Batman the Ride opening at Six Flags Great Adventure, Magic Mountain, St. Louis, over Georgia, and over Texas between 1993 and 1999. There was also another version of Batman that opened in 2003 at Six Flags New Orleans. May she rest in peace. Now, this was the first time Six Flags would clone a major attraction of theirs to other parks within the chain. Despite it not being a completely new ride, Batman would once again receive a great reception at each of its new openings across the country. So theoretically, because of Batman the Ride's success opening in other parks, that's kind of why Six Flags still uses the clone model today. That all being said, why did it get such a great reception anyways? Well, there are many reasons, and one of them isn't just because it's named after Batman. Now, let me tell you something. Batman the Ride was one of the pioneers for theming on a budget. I mean, it practically wrote the first few chapters on how to build a well-themed ride when you do not have the massive corporate backing of a Disney or a Comcast. And as far as theming goes for a regional park, Batman wrote the most important rule: scenery before cedary except after greenery. Which essentially means when you are theming on a budget, you should put all of the theming in the queue unless you have a ton of money to spend on the ride. The reason for this is that any theming you put on the ride is probably going to get glanced over or passed over pretty quickly, especially if we were talking about a roller coaster. However, any theming you put in the queue will have a much greater effect on your guests because they'll have ample time to look at it and take it all in. And Batman does this to perfection. The queue for each version of the ride is slightly different, so I'm just going to go through the original at Great America's just so that there's no confusion here. It starts off with you entering the beautiful Gotham City Park, which was generously donated to the people by none other than millionaire Bruce Wayne. However, we quickly turned from the bright and peaceful Gotham City Park to the dark and ominous storm drain of Gotham Public Works. Before entering the storm drain, we see how the park was a complete misrepresentation of just how crime-ridden and dirty Gotham truly is. We pass by a police car riddled with bullet holes and crash into a fire hydrant. We hear tires screeching on the highway above us. We are bombarded with the loud sounds of the city just after relishing in the peace and quiet of the park. We then finally enter the storm drain, and after climbing up a few stairs and enduring the hell that is that steel cage, I mean, time out really quick. Like, seriously, it gets like up to 100 degrees in here during the summer, and that constant dripping noise, oh my god, is seriously a nightmare in there. Anyways, guests finally make it to the Batcave, and at this point, the guests already know everything they need to know. They know that Gotham is a crime-ridden city desperately in need of help, and that Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, is doing everything in his power to make the city better. And now that we are here in the Batcave, we know we have to help him. So we hop into the ride vehicle with no hesitation and go for the ride of a lifetime all over Gotham, helping Batman clean up the city. With 5 inversions and a top speed of 50 miles per hour, it's over before you even know it.
Batman the Ride. Now check this out. I'm gonna hold the mic all the way through this ride and explain to you all the sensations that I'm feeling. Oh, wow! Anybody Anybody notice that I sound a lot like Gilbert Gottfried on this ride? Oh no, another loop. How was that? I'm gonna get some interviews now. What you think?
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Best coaster you've been on, you think?
Yes,
The best yet. You guys gonna go again? Let's go again! We're going again! We're going again!
And now, the piece de resistance. When guests exit the ride, they don't see the crime-ridden part of the city, but instead are brought right back to the park, implying to the guests that you and Batman cleaned up Gotham City. So yeah, I think that Batman is Six Flags' best clone. Sure, you can make the argument that something like Superman or the S&S Free Spins are better rides than Batman, and sure, you can argue that Dark Knight and Justice League have better queues. But there's no denying that Batman the Ride provides the best combination of ride and queue to create an experience like no other Six Flags clone even comes close to. So I think it's safe to say that Batman the Ride was successfully themed on a budget. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what regional park ride you want me to cover on the next Theming on a Budget episode, and I'll see you guys next time.